office. What was going through your head at the time when you signed that movie?
Do I have to bend forward?
I know, I don't
We
know.
can hear you, right?
Is
We
it-
can hear you.
is it okay?
You can hear, okay. Well, Javed Saab is there. He was there seeing me as that 15-year-old, which I joined films as. And I must say I was totally raw. I didn't know how to stand in front of the camera. I didn't know how to deliver my lines. But the only good thing is I knew how to speak Hindi well, which a lot of today's youngsters don't know how to. Being from Chandigarh, Hindi was my very much of a spoken language. And I had no idea that I was literally in the midst of a historical making film, because that's what I think Trishul is. It's a landmark film, not only for the amazing cast it had, but the dialogues, the story, the direction, everything. Today I think it's counted as one of the iconic films. And I was lucky and privileged to be a tiny, tiny part of it, doing Gapuchi Gapuchi Gamga, who had really no idea what was happening around. But it's been a long journey, and I've learned along the way. I really was totally untrained, totally raw. And I'm very privileged that I got such a break, and I'm very grateful for it.
Absolutely. I do want to go to the next question, which I can't help but sing Noori to you, because it's 1979 when you had your first solo success, and of course a succession after the debut, which was Trishul. How did your ambitions change at the time when the film turned out to be such a huge success?
Well, you've heard about some people are born great, some achieve greatness, and some have thrust upon them. I was one of those who had it thrust upon me, because after Trishul I went back. I had just finished my school. I went to join my +2, as they used to call it, joined college, and then Yashji offered me Noori, and of course I said no, I don't want to do it. I want to go back to my studies. And he said, okay, we'll shoot in your vacation time, and that's how Noori happened, in my school vacations. And as they say, there was no looking back, because by the time, and the strange part is I never really moved to Bombay till I had finished my second film, Noori, because by the time I finished the film, and before it came out, I had been offered a Raj Kapoor film, which was BVO BV, and a film with one of our top stars of that time, Jitendra Ji, called Nishana, and Red Rose, which was with Rajesh Khanna. And I asked Yashji, what should I do? He says, just sign these films, you've got such good opportunity. And that's how it happened. I just kind of reluctantly came into it, and I really started enjoying my work at a much later date, when I understood what acting was all about. And then I became very aware and very focused. And I'm a good learner, fast learner. So I think that's how my advent into films happened.
Absolutely, no, great. Also co-stars. I mean, you've worked with so many amazing actors. Just some of them you just named. Of course, we can't forget Rishi Kapoor in Ye Baat Raha, Sunny Deol in Soni Mahiwal, Vinod Khanna in Patwara, Rajesh Khanna in Dard, Kumar Gaurav in Romance, and a whole list of them. Is there, when you look back at the films that you've done and films that you could have done that you didn't do, is there any particular male co-star that you think, actually now I wish I got a chance to work with that person?
Well, when I actually started working, all my co-stars were really senior stars. Yeah. And I mean, you've forgotten a few, like Dharmender. I even had the opportunity to work with Rajkumar, the big star of that time, and Shatrughan Sinha. They were all my seniors. And then my colleagues started becoming my younger co-stars, like Sanjay Dutt, Kumar Gaurav, Rishi Kapoor, all of them. And I think, to be honest, the only person I didn't work with from the superstar times, super senior stars, was Devanand and Raj Kapoor. I would have loved to work with both of them. Raj Kapoor more as a filmmaker, I would have loved to be directed by him. I did work under his banner, but that was directed by Rahul Ravel, which was an amazing film. Actually, all of you who have not seen it, BVO BV was again another ahead of time film, which was Sanjeev Kumar in a double role, and he was a phenomenal actor, and it was a hilarious film. And today, all those people who tell me that was one of our favorite films, I was like, why didn't it work at that time? So it wasn't a big hit, but it was a very, very witty and very interesting film.
And the music stood out as well, that
Yeah,
feature
it was
on the
good.
radio.
Yeah.
TV, because you've been quite selective. I mean, initially you had Andaz, which was huge on ZTV. Kitty Party was also on ZTV as well. A bit later on, Sony TV, who's our partners here for the event, Iknei Bechan. We've got also got Big Boss, which was at the time on Sony TV as well.
Yes.
So you started off with some TV, did a bit more TV in between, but now you've gone back onto the film side and OTT. Is that a decision that you've just decided to make right now for that reason?
I always said that I've been doing things in reverse. People come to television, then people start with theatre, then they come to television, and then they move on to films.
Yeah.
I did the reverse.
Absolutely.
I did films, and then I did a little bit of television, and then I finally had the courage to do theatre. I remember in the initial years, Shavana used to come to Prithvi, and a lot of my friends would say, why don't you do theatre? I said, no way, I don't have the guts, I can never do theatre. But when I did, trust me, it's intoxicating. It is absolutely gratifying. And the audience reaction, which you get live there, I mean, it's unparalleled. I've really enjoyed all the three formats. And now that OTT is such a good way of being able to tell stories, get amazing roles for women and men of all ages, all shapes and sizes. So I think that is what it is. And I think this is a wonderful new opening for people to, express themselves, OTT.
Absolutely. Children, I wanted to ask you a question about how they feel. Will they be following your legacy in terms of what you've done in film, TV, and on OTT?
Well, surprisingly, I didn't think my kids would. And much later in life, when they grew up, both of them, my daughter's just completed her first film with a very prestigious banner called Rajshri Films, which all of you know. Rajshri is a very respected banner, and I'm so glad that's her debut film. And my son was actually launched by Sanjay Leela Bansali in a film, and that film came during lockdown, so